During today's drawing class in the college, I did another portrait drawing of one of my students. Here's the full drawing process. I hope you enjoy it. Always start with the rough composition. Let's take a look. You can use just a little short line here and there just to get your ideas down on the paper. And what I'm using here, always start with the wine charcoal. So kind of like keep it light and easy to change. And right now I'm not doing any measurements, so it's just roughly draw by looking at that with my eye. So see how those things sit together on the page and create an interesting enough for you to go on. And if this is good enough for you, or you want to make it smaller, I think I'm going to make it a little bit smaller just for the demonstration sake. Okay, I'm going to make it a little smaller. I'm going to have the chin come up a little. Now I just change the height of the face. So the width is supposed to be also shrink it down to a little smaller. Like that. What I'm trying to show you is you're not just go by your first instinct. You can make changes, and it's easy to change at the first step. Now we finally come down to something that we want to move on from this first step. And of course the shoulder line will also be higher too, right? Like this. Okay, if this is what we want, the next thing we're going to do is do a measurement, right? Let's do a little measurement to find out what is the width related to the height. Now it's the top of the head to the bottom of the chin, and rotate it. Not going to include the E. So a little bit less than 2/3 of the whole height. So let's see. I'm going to do the 3 same proportion. I think there's from here is the width of the face. It not include the ear. Now I'm going to take this part and rotate it. That's the width. So that's the width that not include the ears. Okay, right here. Okay, that is the width. This is good. Let's move on. That's very crucial for this step. If you get the proportion correctly, your whole drawing we're gonna build up on top of this discovery. Let's move on to, and the ear is a little bit smaller on this side, like this, coming down here. And now we're gonna do the vertical proportion. Okay, the vertical proportion is, I think by looking at him, the eyes line just right in the middle. The eye line's right here. So I'm going to draw the line over here, across over from the left to the right. That's the eye line. No, this is not the middle. Should be a little much higher. Should be here. Let's do a little measurement. And from the bottom of the chin coming up to the eye, I'm going to take that to come up from the eye to the top of the head, exactly in the middle. This is good. So let's take a look if this is the middle. No, should be a little higher still. And take this. That is the middle. So okay, that's good. This is the bottom of the chin. This is the middle. I'm going to draw that line. Now we're going to see how we're going to divide that into, almost like 5 eyes. This is good. So we're going to divide that into 5. On this side is a little bit less because his face turning a little bit more to the right. This is good. So I'm gonna have the left side over here, this one eye, a little bit bigger, and this eye on this portion on the right hand side a little bit less. So that's good. So his eye is sitting right here because we already find out the vertical and then the horizontal location, and then that's very easy. Now we find out the two eyes sitting over here. Now from here we can come down to the nose. Look at, wait a minute, the eyebrows about in this location. The lower lip over here is right in the middle, dividing the space from the nose to the bottom of the chin. So like that right here, and then the upper lip is right in here. So you need to focus on that when you try to find that certain proportion. You need to focus on that in order to be able to find it. And there is this, take a look at the space, the width of the nose is almost similar to the space between two eyes, just a little bit wider. You can find out that by comparing that with the space between two eyes. This is good. We can soften that. We can prepare that for the next step. Okay, this is good. Now on the side over here of the nose, there is a line coming through over here. They're showing that this man has been happy and smiling all the time. And that's good. We find those locations. And then on the right side here too. Okay. Define the location of the ear. His ear on the top is a little bit higher. So showing that actually his eyebrows could be over here. And in that case, the nose is right in the middle between the eyebrows and the bottom of the chin. This is good. And then we can roughly define the catch the shadow area. Okay, that's good. What we're going to do now, we're going to come down to the next is just drawing an outline. I'm going to use this medium charcoal pencil. I'm going to starting over here. Okay, let's take a look. I'm going to come down to the face, take a look at the eyes. Look at me. We can soften the guideline, which is we drew a little bit earlier with the wine charcoal. That's good. Now we can throw the detail in, correct that. There has some catch the shadow inside the eye. Okay, there's the iris right in here. It's a little bit darker. There's a pupil in the middle. Like that. We're gonna continue into the other side. Let's see, that's good. And there's a little highlight inside the pupil, the iris. Okay, that's good. The corner of the eye. Let's just set a little simple shape on that. And over here on this side, it actually have the shadow side. So we can actually set a little bit shadow side over here for now. We can come back to do a little more. Now come down to the nose. Let's see, that's the nostril. Going with this step by step, and you won't get lost through this process. And this is a little bit softer. And we're going to use the nitty eraser to create the highlight. On this side of the nose, it has catch the shadow. And then just put that a little darker value in here. It's good. Take a look. And the corner of the eye, set a little details. And okay, now come down to the mouth. Take a look. The width of the mouth is almost like taking 1/3 from the left to the right, but it's going a little bit more toward the right side. So here you go. And from the corner, because we already know where the mouth is, so it's pretty easy to draw it if we already know where's the location. Now, when you draw the lower lip, that is just not draw the lower lip, because you cannot just draw the outline over here. What we are notice is the shadow. If you draw the shadow shape, the lip, the shape of the lip will show. Like on this side. Now we're gonna apply a little shape now. A little bit over here, have a little bit middle tone. Gonna apply that in here. That's good. On the corner of the mouth, it has a lot of things we can look at in the corner of the mouth, and that matching the personality of the sitter. Okay. All right. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use just the side of this soft charcoal. Okay, here we go. Now, building up the shape now. Now with the next step is going into the shadow and the light, right? Okay, here we go. And the chin over here has a little details here, a little shape. And if you want to confirm it a little bit better, use your finger to blend it in. It's very easy to confirm that. Okay, now I'm going to make the whole shadow side to be darker. I'm going to say here, the shadow starting over here, coming through from the forehead. What I want to do is to making this whole area to become darker. Now coming down to the nose now, and now over here too, on this side, a little bit little darker tone on the side over here, because even though the light coming from the left side, it doesn't really mean the edge of the left side, it is the darkest. And actually the darkest on the cheek in this area. And we can use the nitty eraser to actually extend that up here. That's good. Now I'm going to keep going. On the whole side over here, the shadow side. So I'm going to make this whole area to be darker. Okay, now coming over here, there is just the line between the upper lip and the lower lip of the mouth is darker. And I'm going to pay attention to that area to make it that, as I said, the mouth, the corner, and the lip, and showing a big part of the personality. And over here now we're going to see the little smaller contrast. Now we make this a little bit, tone it down a little bit, and leave this a little bit lighter. But this is not going to be as light as the highlight in the cheek. So we're going to blend this a little. So now we can do a little more and more of the comparison. And there's a little bit sharper contrast. We'll create that a little bit here. And the corner of the mouth, like that. Okay, that's good. Now we come to the ear. We give a little indication of the ear over here, but the ear is kind of in the distance. So you don't need to give it too much of a clear contrast in the ear. Okay, up and here, it's pretty deep. It's a little bit darker, right under the head. So I'm going to make this even darker. Okay, now come take a look at this side of the ear. Okay, that's good. Give a little suggestion. And depends on how much information that you want to give for the ear. You don't want to overemphasize, but we don't want to totally disregard. Okay, now take a look at the corner. We're almost there. Now we come down over here on the right side of the face to the neck. Oh, here we go. Now I'm gonna come here, one sweep coming up. It's good. And now we're gonna finish the catch the shadow shape on the shoulder. You see this? Like that. And we give a little indication for the shoulder. Let's take a look one more time. And anything we need to give the final touch. Like I think underneath over here on the chin, on the face, we need to give a little bit more indication for the separation. Okay, this can be a little bit blending a little bit solid. And at the head, which probably just shaded just for the local color, the head a little bit darker. Like that. And let's take a look. Maybe a little bit on the dress. I don't want to have it just blank, open. Now take a look at underneath the chin. Right here, we need to give a little indication. And you can see that there's some reflected light from the shirt underneath the chin. So how can we do the reflected light? It's kind of pretty easy, right? Just use a little eraser to create the light coming back on like this. But you don't want to do too much. Just a little indication there is some reflected light coming back. Okay, a little bit like that. So down here it's a little bit darker. And I'm going to give a little bit contrast underneath the shadow of the lip. Okay. Let's take a look. I think on this side it can be a little bit lighter. Okay, the ear can be a little bit darker. Soften that. And if you want to give the details of the graphic on the head, that will be the last thing that you want to give it to. But it's not necessary that you have to, if there's a reason, you can include the graphic on that. But that should not be the focal point. Cannot include that as the most important element. I think the drawing is finished. If you enjoyed these lessons, please give it a thumbs up and share with your friends. If this is your first time here, please subscribe and turn on notification. I will see you in my next lesson.